What if three completely different stories were actually part of the same silent rise? What if a name you already know was quietly conquering new countries, new languages, and new audiences at the same time? What if the real impact wasn't happening on social media, but deep inside the numbers, the rankings, and the reactions no one expected? And what if the most shocking detail hasn't even appeared yet? Something is happening around Can Yaman. Not loudly, not aggressively, but steadily. And once you see the full picture, it becomes impossible to ignore. This is magazine news and gossip, and what you're about to hear may change the way you look at his career forever. It starts with a comparison that no one saw coming. A single image. Two titles placed side by side. On one side, a global phenomenon that has dominated conversations, timelines, and streaming charts for years. On the other, a production that until recently felt like a question mark to many international viewers. And yet there they were, standing together. Sandokan positioned next to Bridgerton. That alone raises questions. Why would a legendary international production be visually aligned with a series still finding its global footprint? What message was being sent without words? And who was meant to notice? Then comes the moment that quietly shifts everything. Netflix rankings. Numbers that don't lie. While Bridgerton's fourth season continues to dominate the platform, another period drama unexpectedly pulls focus. Sandokan appears, not in passing, not buried, but inside the top 10 in the United States. Think about that for a second. A production rooted in a different culture. A story many American viewers had never actively searched for. And yet, suddenly, it's there. Visible, competing, demanding attention. The article that highlights this moment doesn't come from a fan page. It comes from an English-language publication, written by a journalist who admits something important. She wasn't looking for Sandokan. She was watching Bridgerton. And then, almost accidentally, Sandokan caught her eye. That detail matters more than it seems. Because discovery changes everything. It means the audience is expanding beyond expectations. It means people who didn't even know Can Yaman are now asking questions. Who is he? Why is this series here? And why does it feel different? But this is only the first layer. Because while Sandokan is quietly building visibility in the American market, another project is doing something equally powerful in a different direction. Spain. A new language. A new audience. A new test. A Spanish journalist, someone who already knows Can Yaman's earlier Turkish work, watches El Turco without high expectations. 6 episodes later, her tone changes. Not hype. Not exaggeration. Surprise. She speaks about a more mature Can Yaman. A physical presence that doesn't rely on excess. Silence used as a tool rather than a gap. A darker hero. More human. More fragile. More real. This isn't just praise. It's recognition of transformation, of an actor stepping away from what is safe and leaning into what is challenging. And the audience feels it. She admits something else. She thought she knew what to expect. And she was wrong. That sentence alone says more than 1,000 compliments. And while El Turco gains momentum in Spain, another title keeps resurfacing in the press. Even before its release. Even while still in production. El Laberinto de las Mariposas. The Spanish digital newspaper El Español publishes images. Fresh. Striking. Carefully chosen. They describe the project as an 8-episode romantic thriller with international ambitions. Not local. Not limited. International. There's another detail that stands out. This is Can Yaman's first fiction project entirely in Spanish, filmed fully in Spain. Different locations, different energy, different risks. And then come the images themselves. Can Yaman in motion, a chase scene, rain falling, a funeral van, A sudden escape, running, breathing, pushing his body to its limits. This isn't symbolic fitness. This is physical commitment, the result of intense training, demanding action choreography, long preparation, discipline. But the story doesn't stop at action. In the script, he plays Kaplan, a secret agent,
Betrayed.
hunted, transformed from protector to the most wanted man in Spain. That arc feels uncomfortably close to the theme running through all three productions. Isolation, pressure, reinvention. Then comes a quote. Not new, but suddenly more meaningful than ever. Can Yaman describes working in Spain as a dream come true. Not casually, not as a promotional phrase, but as gratitude, as something earned. He talks about learning Spanish, not passively, not quickly, a private tutor, a year and a half, an intensive program, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, watching series, expanding vocabulary, training expression. This isn't adaptation. This is immersion. The article also mentions fans waiting for hours, in the rain, outside filming locations in Toledo, just to catch a glimpse, just to feel part of the moment. At the end of the day, Can Yaman returns to Madrid, where he has currently established his residence, where another chapter is clearly being written. Now take a step back. Sandokan gaining visibility alongside Bridgerton in the United States. El Turco receiving critical recognition in Spain. El Laberinto de las Mariposas building anticipation as an ambitious international thriller. 3 productions, 3 countries, 3 languages, 1 trajectory. This isn't coincidence. This is strategy meeting opportunity, preparation meeting timing. And here's the part that truly changes the perspective. None of this is being pushed aggressively. It's unfolding, naturally, article by article, reaction by reaction, audience by audience, which raises the final question. If this is what we're seeing now, before the full releases, before the global campaigns, before the biggest conversations begin, what happens next? Because something tells us the most shocking detail hasn't arrived yet. And when it does, the conversation around Can Yaman may never be the same. That's why this story matters. That's why this moment matters. And that's why magazine news and gossip will be watching very closely. If you felt the shift, say it. If you notice the pattern, write it. And if you think this is only the beginning, make sure you don't miss what comes next.